Yes, it's a weekend. Always a pleasure to have your company, especially when we're talking about things that impact us in so many different ways. Life has taught us to learn. Age or maturity does not bring anything to the table with regards to learning. We can learn until the day we depart. It's weekend deal again today, and we're talking about how gossip has evolved. Patience, how are you doing today?
I'm doing well, and you look beautiful, girl.
You are amazing, honey.
And then Oscar Wilde, the great poet, said, the only thing that is worse than being talked about is not being talked about. And I'm wondering, yes, the only thing.
So gossip is good to a point.
Good if you're important.
We learned about good gossip yesterday.
Yes, good. Yeah. So you need to build yourself to know that when people are going to talk about me, I don't have control over what people say. They're going to say the good and the bad, but I'm going to guard myself and I'm going to value myself enough not to break down.
It's time for yoga, right? With Dr. Deep. Dr. Deep, you still owe us a visit to the studio, and we cannot wait for that to happen. But for now, this is you doing your thing with your regular partner. Take it away.
Raise your knee, walk towards your trunk. Namaste. Hello to everyone. I am Diptiranjan Mohanty, a trained yoga teacher from High Commission of India, Abuja, CGTNAC. Now we will perform Sasanka Asana. Sasanka means rabbit. So Sasanka Asana means rabbit posture. Those who are suffering from slip disc, severe back pain, hernia, sciatica, they should avoid this posture. Now breathe in, raise your both arms above your head. Both arms parallel to each other. Now breathe out, bend forward. Bend from your hip, bring your both palms, forehead on the floor. Compress your chest, abdomen above your thighs. Hold this posture up to 5 seconds. Now breathe in, raise your both arms, head, trunk up. Breathe out, bend forward. Bend from your hip. Bring your both hands, head, forehead, touch to the floor. Breathe in, raise your both arms, head, trunk, come up. Now we will do the variation. The variation, separate your both knees. Both hands, both palms on the floor. Now breathe out, bend forward. Slide your both palms in front of your body. Touch your chin and chest on the floor. Look front. Hold this posture. Normal breathing. Breathe in, slowly come up. Once more, breathe out, come forward, slide your both palms, touch your chest and chin on the floor. Breathe in, raise your trunk up. Now, join your both knee, come to Vajrasana, both hands on your knees. Sasankasana, rabbit pose. This asana stretches and strengthens the back muscles and separates the individual vertebra from each other, releasing pressures on the discs. This posture encourages the discs to resume their correct position. It also regulates the functioning of the adrenal glands. It tones the pelvic muscles and the sciatica nerves and is beneficial for both the male and female reproductive organs. Thank you for joining the yoga session. See you next time. Namaste. Raise your knee, walk towards your trunk.
Let's talk about Sufyan. He's been doing stuff.
Yes, Sufyan
on
has been
social
busy all week.
media.
Yeah,
We saw him.
Yes,
Always moving out with his camera and say,
yes.
I beg, I want to go and package my feature and I want it ready for Sunday. I will not tell. I don't want any gossip. I just want you to see the live thing on air. So it's time to invite Sufyan, isn't it? Sufyan, take it away.
In the past, gossip spread slowly through word of mouth or printed columns, but today, with the advent of social media, blogs, and YouTube, a single rumor can reach millions within seconds. With social media experts and influencers, can people make money from gossiping? How does gossiping evolve with the advent of social media?
Yes, people can a lot of money, depending on the platform that is being used.
So gossip blogging have actually helped in job creation and economic growth. Since a gossip blogger or a gossip content creator could actually monetize his or her platform via brand deals, advertisers revenue, and the likes.
When people see that a certain blog has more followership, more engagement, they will definitely pay those blogs, to run adverts for their businesses, companies, campaigns, and all of that. And then you also see that for certain blogs, they can harness AdSense. If it's YouTube as well, YouTube pays people when they are monetized, depending on the views, level of engagement, and all of that. So of course, having a blog pays a whole lot of money.
But this lucrative business model raises important ethical questions.
Everybody now have the freedom to express themselves. Everybody now have the freedom to post whatever they like. Before you pass an information across on radio or television, it will be critically looked into and make sure that this information is not false. But in this generation, you could actually decide to be posting harmful content, information that you didn't really confirm to know how credible that information is. So it could actually cause a whole lot of damage and harm if this is not well done and managed.
Monetizing gossip is a double-edged sword. While it provides income for content creators, false information spreads quickly, leading to public shaming and significant mental health impacts.
Fact of this news and gossip that they spread affects the integrity of these people that they spread about. So it can affect, like a single post can tarnish the image of a particular person for life. And internet does not forget.
Victims of social media gossip often find themselves with limited protection.
I don't think there is a law that governs profiting from gossip, rumor, and blogging. So people just do it and post it out there without any regulatory body that governs what they push out there. But if you find yourself as a victim, that something is being written about you, you can write to the platform like Facebook, like Instagram, and tell them that something was written about you and it is not right. You want it to be brought down, it could actually be addressed and looked into. But before it happens, there is no regulatory body, there is nothing that governs it. People just post what they feel like and just push it out there.
Nigeria has defamation laws, but there is no specific legislation addressing the monetization of gossip.
People who are victims of defamation, they could actually come up with defamation and libel lawsuits, which implies any gossip blogger who decide to defame you could actually be put to justice by filing them a lawsuit.
The Cyber Crimes Act covers some aspects of online harassment.
A country where they fall into the A-level technology category, it may be very easy for them to track down such gossip blogger and put them to justice. But it is still very achievable regardless in our country, but it may take time.
As we navigate this complex terrain, let's remember the power of our words and the responsibility that comes with sharing information.
Thank you so much, Sophia. And I mean, the bloggers are taking advantage of gossip, and a whole lot of them are smiling to the bank. Well, the sanction and litigation aspect, well, we'll talk more about that, but we've said here that gossips have its disadvantages, and it does a whole lot of damages. But what exactly are the disadvantages? How damaging can gossip be? NTA Kano will lead this conversation. NTA Kano, take it away.
Gossip, a veiled monster that destroys the most fundamental variables of human peace and peaceful living. When unleashed, gossip could lead to serious misunderstandings, breaking of relationships, damage reputations, and create a culture of persistent mistrust.
Psychologically, it affects the victim of the gossip by making him to be more of introversion. That is, to be interested in himself, to reduce his level of interaction and association with other people.
Gossip disrupts peaceful togetherness, ignite chaos in the society that could lead to unimaginable results. In a family, for example, short intended moment of gossip could destroy years of established love, understanding, and trust.
I could remember many years ago, there is this family, God-fearing family. The husband is so godly, the wife is so godly. They got married for some years without an issue. And the husband is the type that believes that he has never accepted anything outside religious pattern. He has never accepted going to other source to gain a child. So it happens that, sometimes we women, we are so concerned with this issue. So a friend of her came to her and advised her that your husband will not know. Let us go to so place where they will at least offer solution to you, not knowing that a third ear have heard about it. And the third ear did not react until after the wife and that other friend went to that place. Then and God literally God blessed the woman with the fruit of the womb. That was when the other gossiper came to the husband. That this is what happened. I heard. You call yourself a godly man. Now you are preaching to me. You understand, concerning my problem. When during your problem, your wife went to so place. And that is the reason why now your wife is pregnant.
As an inevitable part of our culture, gossip is found in every human organization.
A student was found chatting and gisting with a lecturer. Another student that saw them chatting and gisting without knowing what they were discussing or what they were talking about, she went to the class and was spreading the news that the lecturer was having something to do with the student. And when the lecturer, the information got to the lecturer, he was angry. He showed his he was angry, so he called the student to order, and that thing led to the dismissal of the student from the polytechnic.
Well, reasons are bound as to why many people engage in gossip, in spite of its devastating consequences. In our place of work, for example, gossip is today used as a silent boat to the perpetrator's desired destination.
In most of our organizations, establishments, this happened. There are some people with this bad habit. They are in the habit of carrying certain informations, maybe to their superiors, in order to gain more recognition, in order maybe to enjoy certain advantages. They may entrap somebody so that whenever he says something, now they take it off.
When taken too far, gossip can blow out of proportion and lead to regrettable legal consequences.
You defame somebody's character and he wants to protect his reputation, dignity in the society. Therefore, the only way he can protect the reputation and dignity of himself is to take legal action.
From Kanu back to the FCT, it gives us a great pleasure that everyone, different parts of the country, want to weigh in on this conversation because all of us are involved. And that's how we can bring solutions together. Well, our guests are in the house, like Ayo gossiped to us much earlier in the day, and we start to meet, greet, and welcome them. In our first stop, we get to see their profiles, and we welcome Yinkat Ruth Dumben. She is an influencer. But when I knew her way back, she was training to be a journalist. Her profile will tell us more.
Oh, that's a very rich profile there.
Thank
You're welcome to the Weekend Days today.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome, most welcome. Okay, we have another guest in the house. He is Princely Soribe, a computer analyst, media content developer, and consultant. Let's see his profile.
Weekend Deal Princely
It's a pleasure. Thank you very
Soribe
much.
from the heart of a weary, but with the heart of a patriot.
Yes,
So it's all about Nigeria, going beyond our immediate environment to we're going national. In fact, we're going continental and then international because you know NTA is on the global platform. So the world is watching us right now as we speak. It's an easy peasy issue, gossip, how it has evolved, but being who we are and where we find ourselves in this space, sophisticated time in our lives, where we have emotional intelligence, artificial intelligence, we have social media, many things, tips and tricks at our fingertips to utilize if we want to make somebody's life miserable. That's why it's discussed for today. We can use these tips and tricks to make them happy. That's how we hear there's good gossip. There's also bad gossip. Someone also told us that the fact we say gossip also already has a negative undertone. So but we know there's good, there's bad, we also learn there's neutral. But let's take it a step further. They say gossip has evolved over time. There's always been gossip. And now we have the negative, we have the impact, and then the sanctions. Let's talk about negative gossip. Because the good one is a foregone conclusion. It has impacted lives for good. Think about the negative one. And being an influencer, how do you bring this kind of matter with the people's lives you touch? And when you're turning back to say, I've done a good job, what do you leave behind you at the end of the day? How is gossip touching the lives of people that you have had the opportunity to meet and touch and impact? And how do you use that to reshape their lives and leave them better than you met them? Let me start with you.
Okay, first and foremost, I've actually met a lot of people. Gossip, like you mentioned, is very damaging. That's the negative part of gossiping. It can leave someone really battered. You lose hope. And you feel, where am I going to start from? Everything is gone. You are going through some difficult times. People gossiped about you, damaged you. And because I knew you, we talk. Maybe we just met. You didn't know as an influencer. So I tell you the right things. And your life lights up
positive words impact a lot in people's lives. So that's what I've been doing. And because I spoke the right things to you, Thelma, you go tell another person. So that is how it started spreading. And I talked to people on phone. It came to a point that I started meeting them, well, here in Abuja in a garden. And it's amazing, the number is just increasing. Wow. It's increasing.
Sorry, let me put this in perspective. Your content creation, is it targeted towards people who have suffered? What is it exactly you do in your content creation?
It's not only about people that have been battered, it's people from all walks of life.
Okay.
It's people from all walks of life.
Okay.
They just come to me, I tell them the right thing. It's about speaking the right words to people that builds them up. You know, gossip and damaging somebody's life or what someone has gone through is like a broken bottle. You can't pick the pieces up, you know, but you can build them up with words. So I believe it's the words I tell them.
Choice of words.
That heals them.
Okay.
It's all about healing.
Okay. Okay, so the princely.
Yes.
The princely. Thelma say all the way from the heart of Owerri. Now you're national. You're global now, you know. You're outside now. That's me doing things. Okay, so tell me, have you ever been a subject of gossip? How did you deal with it?
Well, depending on the area of gossip, because for me, gossip is publicity.
Okay.
And there is negative publicity and positive publicity. Okay. But for any time a gossip comes on, somebody's knowing about you. It's either the good or the bad. So sometimes, for me, I see it as a business avenue, depending on how you can handle it. Sometimes, many people today, celebrities or people are respected because of some gossip somewhere. It gave them a platform to be able to be on a platform that gave them what they are today. So if there was no gossip, that would be there. Moreover, if you do a little bit biblical check, even the birth of Christ was a gossip. They talked about it till the king of...
So the influencers were the three wise men.
So most times people don't, depend on how you handle gossip. Some people are, whatever you do, if people don't talk about you, whether good or bad, then you're not existing.
Wow.
Okay.
Yes.
But is that handling I want Ruth to tell me about? It's like, you know, sometimes, you know, it's easy to say that I use that to platform myself and I skyrocketed and all of that. We know many people were unable to use that to, you know, go to the next level because it depends on how it came for you and who you already were. That courageous, that bold, that extrovert. Some reserved, quiet people were living their normal lives, enjoying peace and harmony with their family, friends, and relatives. And then one big thing just came, boza. When you talk, what do they say? How eager are they to come right back again to this thing we call life, where it could happen again and again and again? What are you telling them? Those right things. Okay. For me, I think what makes the difference, two people can say the same thing, but it all depends on the power behind it. There's a power behind words. And when you have that power, which only comes from God, of course, the words are different. It's like, for instance, two people can sing the same song, but one will move people to tears because of the power behind the words, the vessel that it's flowing from. That vessel must have been broken, and that vessel must have died. These are spiritual things I'm talking about. So the way that person sings that song is not going to make the same impact as the second person. The second person may be singing and it's like entertainment. It doesn't carry any power. But the first person that has died, literally, you know, the Bible says, except a grain of wheat falls to the ground and dies, it abides alone. So are you saying you have the power to impact because you've experienced all of this firsthand? Yes. So you had to die to live? I had to die to live. Well, are we, okay, church, is it, where are we going?
What was your experience? What happened? Can you please share? You might not go to details, but tell us the gossip and how you were able to come out of it at the time so that people who are going through what you went through would learn.
Can learn.
Yeah.
As a Christian, a believer,
the word of God is powerful.
Were you a believer then when it happened?
When it happened, I wasn't. And I went through a lot because everywhere I went, it was just gossip. And of course, for me, I think gossip is born out of envy and jealousy.
Yes, definitely.
That's the foundation. And it starts building, it can tear you apart. It can come to a point you may not move around freely because you feel all eyes on you. They've damaged me. So I was in that condition once upon a time. And the only thing that helped me was the word of God, to be honest. I started reading like I was going to die.
Like never before?
Like never before. And I was like, these people, these things they are saying is wrong. They're accusing me. They don't even know me. You know, this thing started from secondary school when I came back to Nigeria. And I think it was jealousy and envy. Just started talking, this girl that just came back, blah, blah, blah. And everywhere you go, people are just looking at you and you just know, like there are arrows behind you, like they are throwing arrows at you. So I got into the Word of God and I read it. And after a while, it started making an impact in me. I started changing. And I built what I would call like an elephant skin.
Mm-hmm.
So it comes to a point when God is breaking you,
like a wall,
molding you, and you are dying, nothing moves you anymore. Nothing moves you. That's why I got that power to set other people free. You know how you comfort people with the kind of comfort you've received? So I received that kind of comfort.
So you will not rest until they are where you are.
Exactly.
Until they die to self and awaken again.
Yeah.
Well, let's hear from Princely, because in your own case, you had to go into the Word of God. You had to maximize your potential as a human being who respects and reverences the one true God. Princely, in your own opinion, you said you can leverage on gossip to skyrocket. How are you able to inculcate that in others? Not everybody has your strength or your capacity or ability. Are you able to let them know that it's all in you, you need to bring it out?
Yes, just like my sister here actually started on the platform of God being involved in everything. I think it's the same thing. If you go to the regular Psalms, everybody talk about Psalms 23, where it says, He prepares the table before me in the presence of my enemies.
Psalm
That means
23.
there are always going to be enemies. So what are enemies? Challenging you. The fact that you know that you have people who are against you, you have to be focused, because the truth is that somebody's holding your hands. I tell you, I'll prepare you, because God does not do his things in a hidden. He does it in the midst of where you're being criticized. So when you look at the angle where things come to you as a gossip, just know another dimension of you is about to unveil itself. Because you have to understand that it's an opportunity to change things, change the narrative. And look at it as, what is God trying to tell you? Is he trying to open my business, or trying to open me to another angle? It could be anything generally, in business, in politics, in whatever. But the truth is that, how do you manage that situation? But the truth is that you must pass through it. Everybody will pass through it.
Okay.
Well, how you handle it is what is important.
That's what I'm saying. Now, handling it basically is about, you might not have the right people, but try to position yourself where you have to be open to informations. Sometimes sit down and listen to those things they say. It might be you.
Yeah.
It might be you.
Yeah, it's time for you to do a self-audit.
Yes.
And say, what is this thing about me?
If you, for instance, when I used to be an artist or a musical act, then if you do a song and everybody's hailing you, something is wrong with that song.
We've heard from Princely, and it sounds, I will still go back again. Princely, you were built with a certain uncommon strength in ability, capability, and it's out there, it's evident. Some people were not even built that strongly. And then the breakage comes. No one is often to tell you, if you fall, as far as you don't die, you don't lose breath, you will rise again if you want to. Now, as we wrap up your own convo, it is possible to build yourself from death as long as you have breath. Tell us about it. Tell us about it in 1 minute.
Okay, like I keep saying, it's about words. Words are powerful. So if you keep telling yourself something negative, it's going to happen.
True.
Life is about, it's like painting a picture. If you don't like what you're seeing today, change what you're saying. So that is the main focus for me, is to encourage people
to say positive things about themselves. It doesn't matter how damaged you are. Once you say the right words, keep saying it over and over. I can make it. I'm going to rise again. You're going to see that you will rise. But if you keep sitting and having a pity party, you're going to keep going down, going down, going down, and going down.
Wow. We want to thank you very much, Younghead Ruth Dumbin. Quite a reunion. We hope for a bigger, better one coming up soon. Okay.
Amen.
Good to see you after almost 22, 23 years.
Yeah, but 23 years.
25 years. 1999.
99 years.
25 years.
That's true.
Wow, fantastic.
Yes,
We're going to Uyo now, where there's talk about the advantages and benefits of gossip. We're living with the words of Ruth. She said, if you can imagine it and think it, you can be it. Uyo, what else are you going to add to our discuss?
Gossiping has been seen as something that is defective, something that is negative.
Yes. I'm Ibona. Okay. Talk for Percy back.
It's for people that don't really have what to do. That's my own personal view about it. Communication is a vital part of all relationships. And while it is important not to leave individual parties feeling alienated, some well-meaning gossips could be just what the situation calls for.
I choose to see gossip from the point of view that it could be functional, but it can be dysfunctional when the whole thing is to bring somebody down, to paint somebody black unjustifiably.
I see gossip as a form of getting feedback from the society, relations, and the rest of the people.
Get to expose one to different ideas that you've not been aware of. Get to expose you to information you don't have the opportunity of being aware of such information.
Sometimes I could not be really educated on a particular topic or on a particular thing. But then when I'm talking with my friends, I get to see that, okay, I'm hearing a different opinion. I'm learning.
Take time out in your day to socialize. If you are stressed, worried or annoyed about situation, letting those feelings out through gossips could help you depressurize.
When you gossip, it's a form of relieving yourself from stress and anxiety.
You know, it also helps in problem solving. Something I might not know how to go about, and I just come and discuss it with my friends, and everybody's just chipping in their opinions, saying certain things, saying what they feel about the whole situation. It will give me a sense of direction in how to solve that problem.
Gossips are not entirely bad. Speaking positively about others in their absence builds trust and strengthens social bonds. It can also suggest those that are not to be trusted and should be avoided.
When people gossip about somebody or bad situations, a mature person shouldn't be asking or shouldn't be saying what people were gossiping or what people were talking about me was not fair. The question to say is it true? So if the gossip is true, work on it.
It also strengthens friendship because when we talk and gossip like that, we get to know each other better, get to see how each other perceive different things.
How then can positive gossiping be managed to make sure it does not become malicious?
Keep focusing on the good parts of it. Talking about things that will promote ourselves, not things that would bring us down, help us to grow.
You can reduce gossip if you create a situation where people are free to talk with you and talk to you without the risk of being victimized.
You know the limit you can gossip and you know the limit you can receive gossip, because it's not every gossip that you can welcome.
No matter how one looks at gossips, the truth is sharing information can help people learn. When comments about others get sarcastic or negative, don't get dragged in. Change conversation.
Welcome back. Okay, so another very beautiful woman just joined our guys' couch, and she is a barrister. She is no stranger to the topic we're speaking about. She is Barrister Chioma Onyechineya Uko. She is a women and children advocate. Let's see her profile. We welcome you to Weekend Deal, Barrister Chioma. Great to have you. And a potential chair. Oh. Women, don't joke. Oh, eh? Don't joke. Welcome to Weekend Deal.
Thank you very much for having me.
The most exciting part of your profile and our gist before we even start is that you find time to do pro bono work for women and children.
That's beautiful.
Because if we don't, sometimes no one else will.
I totally agree with you. I mean, once there's something to be done and you realize that you are able to do it, I don't think we should allow, the challenges that would stop us from, including funds, deter us. It's a cost that must be fought.
Amazing,
Oh,
fantastic.
yes.
Tell us about the causes you've been fighting. Sometimes there's words and verbiage put out there, either spoken or written. More often, the written one is where you'll come in, right? Do you also traverse on the path of verbiage as well?
All of it counts, because
counts.
even for the verbal ones, which you call slander, it depends on where it happened. Where was it said? Assuming it was said in public where people heard it. I mean, regardless the fact that it was not reduced in writing, this thing spread like wildfire, and the more it spreads, the more it is distorted in more amorphous forms, and you can't control how far it goes. So all of it
So they
can be quite damaging.
Sorry, please. What kind of cases have you taken to court? What is the outcome? How does it sit? What is the usual outcome? Do they win? Is it changing the narrative?
So in some cases, parties win. But you know that even where there are general rules, there are exceptions, including defenses that are permissible by law. So somebody may say something that would otherwise appear defamatory. But if that person said it, believing it to be true, and has, good evidence to say XYZ happened, and a reasonable person would believe that because of XYZ, then this is true, then the person could also have just made that statement as a fair comment. The person could also enjoy certain privileges, particularly you see the banters that happen during politics. Those are there are certain privileges under the law. So if those exceptions apply, if what that person said is also true, there are things that are true but not public, and then somebody says it because it is not public, we think it's defamation. But the person now, because somebody has been sued, that person digs to show the truth. I mean, there was that example that went really viral of that case between I don't want to call him a social media critic or a blogger or something, that gentleman on social media who came on air to challenge a pastor or somebody.
Yes.
To say that the miracles he performs or the products he sells for healing and what have you are not
true.
So when that happened, they went to court, right?
Yes.
But the gentleman got water, did whatever to show that what he said is true. And when that happened, I mean, that case we know couldn't have ended well for the pastor. So he had to withdraw. Good counsel prevailed, I imagine. So I'm saying that sometimes those seemingly defamatory, seemingly so,
it may not actually be
it may not
defamatory.
quite be.
It could be true.
And then even what has been said, are you able to, can you say exactly, you don't say somebody defamed me, what exactly did the person say? So when you begin to distort what was said, it means you're not even sure what was said. So this applies particularly when it is not in the written form, which is libel. So if it is a slander, and I say, he said, I am not trustworthy, and then the next time I say, he said, he's not sure I can be trusted. It may mean the same thing, but it already shows that you're not even sure of what was exactly said. Assuming you have witnesses, 3, 4, 5 people are saying different things, and one person couldn't have said different things as a statement in that moment. Do you understand? So it may then mean that these people heard something, but they've subjected this thing to their interpretation of it. So you're not telling us what this person said. You're interpreting what you think the
person said.
So these are different things.
Wow.
Even where defamation has happened, it may not succeed in court if you're not able to, be specific on the exact phrases used. Where it was said. Was it said in public? If you had an altercation, both of you here in studio, without the camera on, and she said things to you, you won't call it defamation because we didn't hear it.
Oh, good.
You know what I mean?
So if you have to litigate, you have to be sure.
All of those will count. Those are the things that will determine the success or otherwise. And then sadly, even where the court agrees that defamation did happen, rarely do they award punitive costs that can deter enough. That rarely happens.
I was going to go there.
That rarely happens. So that's I think.
But
that's
in one case, it happened with Linda Ikeji, though. I think it was 70 million.
Yes, I said those are. I mean,
yes.
One of exceptions.
Yes,
those are the
exceptions.
exceptions.
But generally, it hardly ever happens.
I think for the times where the court make a finding, make that determination that defamation actually happened, because of the traumatizing consequences of defamation and how it can really destroy people, it's important that the right punitive
metal that
damages are awarded. Yes.
Okay, so
amazing.
Yesterday went on the streets. Yesterday, went on the street to find out who gossips more, men or women.
Oh my goodness.
Today, we are going back to the streets, but we're going to find out, where do gossip happen more? In the salons, in the offices, bar where men sit down to drink. Where do people gossip more? Views on the streets will tell us. So stay.
You still have the right. It sounds really nice. Be very conscious of your children.
So, to them to my house. People gossip mostly at home where they are not doing anything. The general say that an adult's mind is the devil's workshop. Where you are not occupied, where you are not doing anything, you have time to gossip. At home, most of the time, you see people gossip a lot. Especially housewife, you see, who has nowhere to go, have nothing to do. At the end of the day, they just sit at home. Husband is out for work. The next thing, the woman occupies herself, gossiping. Too many things. It's rapid among women of a truth. It's rapid. Men does that, but the percentage of it you can talk about 70 to 30.
People gossip most in the marketplaces because that is where people come together and they gossip. That is one we know. And most women, they gossip more where they go to plait their hair. Like for men, if you talk about gossip, they gossip when they go to beer parlors to refreshing themselves and have time to discuss. That is where they gossip. Because somebody in his own sitting room, that you will not gossip with anybody. Unless the father can gossip with his children, what is mommy doing? Or mommy will gossip with the child, what is daddy doing? But gossip normally take place in two places to my own understanding.
For ladies, I would say salon. Yeah, I would say salon. I would say restaurants. Yes, I would say bars. I would say lounge. Yes, but mainly salon for ladies.
Where people gossip mostly. Hey, my God. Anywhere you have men and women that are 5 and above. They talk a lot about others, and other people are also somewhere is talking about them. That's gossiping. Then at times, when particularly in the offices where people are idle doing nothing, and at times, even in the market, where women are more than the men, when they are less busy, they gossip.
To my own point of view,
Newspaper stand. Newspaper stand. The most gossiping folds happen to be women. So, but for you to get a reasonable discussion about national development or what is happening around you, I think newspaper stand is the best place.
You still have the right. It sounds really good. The very function of your children.
To get to my house.
It's Weekend Deal. We're enjoying your company via our WhatsApp and SMS nationwide. We're on the continent and we're in the world. They are coming in, so I'll just take a few messages if I may. Someone says, gossip is normal, but the truth is inside of you. If you really want to build your life to a high level, you need to limit what you say. If you are a focused person and you are busy with work and family, or you have things to do, you will find that you will not spend time with gossipers. We've been seeing this word, gossipers. We're giving you free will to create your English today. He said, as long as you know that anything that you say can damage somebody, and it can happen to you as well. Please, let's know who you are so that we can call your name, touch base with you. Okay, somebody says, gossip almost destroyed my life. A long time ago, I had a close friend, in fact, my best friend. We were in the same church. She went to lie about me because she knew that everyone in the church liked me. To my disappointment, they believed her. They did not believe me.
That's what I just said.
It took me many years to get over it. I had to even leave that church. I'm still working for God. I will always work for God. And because I have God in my life, I forgive her. Okay, gossips, either positive or not, helps people to discover themselves. It can also help you to check yourself and make correction about your way of life. But this is only for the wise. I want to take one more because he called his name. Bolaji Onikoyi is reaching us from Lagos. Hello, Bolaji. Thank you for reaching us. He says, if you want to see high level of gossip, go to local government office. They don't have work. No work. So they're always gossiping. At the general hospital, they will leave patients on the queue. They will be gossiping. In fact, those ones, we call them professional gossipers. Gossipers. That's the second inroad that word is making. And I'm sure lots more. Patients, take it from here.
Okay, so I mean, this message is just underscored what we just said here. You said it helps us, gossip could help us to grow. That's what one message said. Then Barrister Choma said here that it could be destructive and it can actually, what kind of growth? Is it positive growth? So let's take it from there. Barrister Choma, let's take it from there then, because he has said his own. It helps us to grow. Gossip has destroyed marriages, has destroyed friendships. Talk about that.
Well, of course, it appears there is a consensus that gossip is destructive, regardless of the few positives that it comes with it. And like we were saying, sometimes people think that, is it not just word? Is it just something somebody said? Is it sticking to your body? But life is about perception. You are good or bad based on the perception of people about you. And the things that contribute to growth, whether it is in marriage, in your career, generally speaking, even in your health, because mental growth is part of your health. Yeah, true. So all of those things are hinged greatly on these perceptions. And when people gossip about you and malign your personality, those things are not, it erodes your chances. It diminishes your standing in the eye of right-thinking people. And your chances at greatness, at growth is reduced. And when we think that we are growing because we are tougher, we toughen up, we realize that stones will always be hurled at us. That saying of it is the tree that has fruits that they hurl stones at. But you forget that it is also gradually eroding our humaneness. We get all too suspicious. Yes. We get unduly on the edge. We don't allow room for better bonding. Everybody is a suspect. You walk into a room, you already sense hostility even before it happens. You're asking yourself, what are they likely to say? Then you adopt an aggressive demeanor because you want to rebuff whatever it is and, just put on a shield.
On social media or celebrity litigations we've seen, do you think some people who have made gossip their lifestyle in offices, in circles, could it be because we're not a litigating nation? That's why some people think that it's okay for them to just say whatever they want to say. Do you think if Nigerians, for example, in my office, I say something against Thelma, she says, Patience, the next thing I get to later say from Barrister Choma and Co. That thing you said in the meeting yesterday, I am suing. Do you think if we're a litigating nation like other nations, do you think gossip, destructive gossip in workplaces or in other spheres will reduce?
I think that gossip happens all over. It's a global thing, regardless how people litigate in other countries or not. I don't think that's the real thing. Yes, it may deter some people.
Okay.
Yes, because where there are no consequences, people run loose, So where there are consequences, they're likely to check what they do before they do that. It may deter, but I don't think that's it. I think most of what obtains in life is a function of demand. There will always be supply for what is needed.
True.
We thrive with, it seems like we enjoy this thing, we bask in it. Once a gossip drops, go and check. Somebody makes a post, educational content, something that will impact your life and add value. The traffic is not as much. But drop a gossip. Everybody jumps on it. So once there is a demand, the market must manufacture supply.
I agree.
In fact, if you still litigate, so long as the supply yields profit, they will be ready to continue to. They'll meet you in court now. They'll brief a lawyer. They'll pay the lawyer from the proceeds of the profit. The profits they made, right?
Yes.
So I think there needs to be some sort of reorientation.
Oh, yeah.
It is a mindset. It is a culture thing. We must get to the place where we I don't know.
Okay, let's say. Okay, Mr. Princely, let's hear from you a little bit. I like the part you referenced, Psalm 23. Irrespective of what they say, who will rise will rise, because it's not by our power. You talked about God preparing a table amidst your enemies. But it helps you too. You may not get to that table if you don't learn how to surmount travails, like you have told us. We've learned about coping mechanisms. We learned yesterday that, from Madam Christie, that some people go to that extent because they are managing something.
Yeah.
They have a trauma untreated over time. And that more offices, more organizations, more business for people, whether whether you've been gossiped about or not, it should be something that everybody should go for some psychological check or something like that. If you were to weigh in on that, what would you say? Should that be something that can be practiced in Nigeria? Should we be looking towards that? Because there will always be enemies. You must surmount something. They will always be there. Whether they know they're enemies or not, people will say and do things that will affect you. How do you surmount? And then we too, who we like to gossip and like to listen to, do we need to learn something? She talked about a reorientation. Should we be counseled into getting that mindset change? Or we should just watch the times, listen to Barrister Chioma and Patience and Thelma and change? Can talk alone change people?
You see, first thing, I also make reference to the Bible too. What is the ultimate goal about life? What did Christ come to give us? Love. Many people gossip because they don't even love themselves. If you don't love yourself, you can't give out what you don't have.
At all.
Why will you think negative about someone else?
I'm big like that. Patience talked about billions. She now blessed me, bestowed on me trillions. that by the time she gets her billions, we may need some more trillions to let the business blend. We have claimed it. We're big like that. And we believe we affirm it. I will take a few messages. Thank you for sending them in. Someone says the positive aspect of gossip, to my understanding, is that it provides temporary relief for the jobless individuals who are going through depression they don't know.
Oh my goodness.
Posed by the immense societal challenges that we all face. They just choose to handle their own differently. They make us their perceived targets. They put the brunt of their anger on us. That's my understanding.
Oh my goodness.
Okay, someone says, good morning, weekend deal. To be sincere, gossiping is a very bad habit and should be avoided at all costs. It brings about fights and quarrels. Sometimes they are never resolved. Farouk. Someone says a true story. No, this is a very lengthy one. Okay, you said your friend, you had some issues with your friend, and eventually he or she lost her business. Somebody was badly hurt and went to seek recourse from another angle, and in the end made her story even worse. Barrister Chioma, they say we are going soon. We'll dance first though, but they say after all said and done, this matter of gossip, advise Nigeria and the world. Final, like 30 seconds, 45 seconds.
From the home, especially the home aspect. Okay, yes. I think most of what we're used to doing is shifting the buck. We want to tell the other person what their responsibility is. But there's something all of us can do because we all come from a home. So since we're all part of a home, as adults, one of the things I think we need to do, whether we are parents or guardians or caregivers at whatever capacity, can we begin to orient our children better and educate them on the implications of harmful comments? When we talk about courtesies, whether it is gossip, so long as it's a harmful comment, can we encourage them to stop those? And there should be consequences for when they disobey, when they step out of line. I'm not saying we wield the big stick. No, that's not what I'm saying. But I'm saying that if you teach a child, when you commend them for good behavior and reprimand them for the not so good behavior, which includes gossip, even if it is among siblings, they begin to realize that those things are not nice. They begin to realize that other people's emotions, other people's, personalities matter. Yes, they're more considerate. Okay. They learn affection. They learn care. Yes. They learn love.
Okay. Princely, weigh in.
Let's do that.
Okay, thank you.
Well, I have to tell people first, guide your heart and ignore your head. What is in your head? Guide your heart. Because any information that comes to you is getting into your head, not your heart. But if you can feed your heart, if you can listen to your heart, you'll move forward. Now, for those who have families, if I'm going to do this, I think that the best way we should now do, if you hear something about someone, go to the person directly. This is not about gossip, but I feel like this about towards you. Please, can you change the narrative for me?
Wow. That's powerful.
It's not about I hear say. I don't want people to hear that I said it. I'm coming to confront you. In Nigeria, we find it difficult to confront people. Like our boss is going to our boss and say, sir, I feel you're being tough on everybody, and me particularly. I don't want to talk about it somewhere else, but I feel that this is it.
Amazing.
And I think that could actually help us heal.
Yes. Thank you. You have healed us. Let us dance.